Well, good evening, everyone. For Monday, December 5th, we are beginning a new month, and our theme this month is Outlook. The topic for tonight is hope. What is hope? According to the dictionary, hope is an optimistic state of mind that is based on an expectation of positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in one's life or in the world at large. As a verb, it means expect with confidence or to cherish a desire with anticipation. In short, to have hope is to want an outcome that makes your life better in some way. Hope during a crisis or times of uncertainty can be an absolute necessity. This is because it helps us bear whatever hardship is in front of us at the time. If we believe there will be a better tomorrow, we can get through today no matter what. However, hope can also take on another perspective. Hoping to win the lottery and basing your decisions on that outcome can have a downside. This kind of hope can be disempowering and leave us feeling perpetually disappointed without the perspective of what is possible and what actions or choices are within our power. By clinging to some future hope, like winning the lottery, we risk missing the joy that is available to us in the present moment. So, what are the physical benefits of being hopeful? A Harvard University study found that a hopeful outlook may help people live longer, and it may help lower the risk of developing cardiovascular disease and other chronic conditions. Oncologists share that hope may boost the immune system's function. It may boost it enough that a patient is able to fight their illness more efficiently and have a more positive outlook, and even a more positive outcome as a result of their healing. Hope decreases the level of anxiety and depression. In fact, hope may even prevent depression in the first place by accentuating positive emotions rather than negative ones. Hope can reduce physical pain because one's perception of pain is lower with a hopeful perspective. And I think that's so significant that, in times of pain, just to have hope that you're going to get better and to think that just that emotion alone can possibly drive your pain threshold down. I think that's amazing. Hope can reduce your risk of heart attack and other cardiovascular diseases, as I mentioned before. And some doctors believe that improving one's mental outlook is a critical part of heart disease prevention in the first place. In general, hope has a great impact on the central nervous system, which can be attributed to the much-studied placebo effect, a premise that is widely accepted in the world of medicine. So if hope can impact our nervous system in so many ways, can we then regulate our nervous system in order to experience hope? Do they work hand in hand? That's something for us to continue to explore. And so how do we find hope when we don't feel hopeful? It's kind of like gratitude. How do we find gratitude when we're overwhelmed with everyday challenges and tasks? If you just begin, just nudging in a little hope every now and then, soon it becomes like a habit. And that is what we're doing here in breathing meditation. Each week we meet, we're building habits one on top of the other to support us in times of stress. So the same can be said of hope. So that's just a little tidbit of what you're going to be discussing tonight in your support group. Let's go ahead and get started with our breathing practice tonight. And so just finding a comfortable place on your chair, letting your sitting bones settle down into your seat, placing your feet flat on the floor, finding that little lift through the crown of the head, and finding a nice tall spine there. So now that you are aligned and your body is settling in, you may place your hands on your knees or on the thighs. And you have the option of closing the eyes or leaving them at a soft gaze, whatever is most comfortable for you. And we're going to begin to become aware of the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, just noticing the natural rhythm of your own breath as it comes and goes in and out of the nose. Good. Just dropping down and dropping into the stillness, into this time of presence. Presence between all of us. We're present for each other. Most of all, presence with yourself, being present for yourself. Good. And just breathing in to the idea of the deeper breath, which stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. So intentionally, mindfully, beginning to extend the inhale and extend the exhale as we drop down a little bit further into the present moment. Good. And noticing if any thoughts try to come in, just noticing those thoughts without judgment and letting them go like the wind drifting through the air on a wintry day. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And with each breath, feeling your stress level washing away and feeling your whole persona, body, mind, and spirit, really rooting down into a sense of relaxation. Good. Good. And as you are intentionally breathing here and feeling yourself shifting from a state of fight or flight to a state of relaxing and calm, we will begin a breathing practice tonight called stair-step breathing. You can imagine in your mind's eye that you're walking up a flight of stairs. And so the very important part of this is we go gradually with this breathing. And so to begin this breath, we'll take a cleansing breath in, exhale a cleansing breath out. Good. And we're going to take in the breath in small increments as if we were walking upstairs. So sipping in the breath just a little bit and pause. Sip it in a little more. Pause. And now sip in the breath all the way up to the top of the inhale and pause. Good. And now exhale very slowly, letting it out until you feel the lungs completely deflate, until you feel all the air expelled. Good. So that is stair-step breathing going up the stairs. So I'll go ahead and do that again with you. Taking a cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out, and sipping in a little bit of air. Pause. Sipping in a little more. Pause. And then sipping in the air all the way up to the top of the exhale. And then exhale, let it out slowly, but intentionally all the way until you have no more air left to give. Good, beautiful. So I want you to feel with each sip of air that you're drinking in hope and love. We can all use a little bit more of that each and every day. With that long exhale, just imagine that you are releasing fear and resistance and doubt. So let's try that again together. Breathing in a little sip of air and pause. Taking it up another little sip and pause. And finally, inhaling all the way up to the top of that inhale, pausing there, and then exhale, letting that breath out fully and all the way. Good. I invite you to try that on your own for a couple rounds. Stepping up the staircase with a 3-part inhale, and then all the way down, sliding down the banister of that staircase with the exhale. So I invite you to try that now on your own. Good. So that is the stair step breathing up. Then we're going to try the stair step breathing down. So picture in your mind's eye that you're walking down a staircase. It is the same breath, but we do it in reverse. We take a long, slow inhale, followed by a 3-part exhale with a pause in between each exhale until we have let all the air out and we find ourselves right where we began. And this breath is very, very good for focusing what is going on in the present moment. So we're going to begin again. And so taking in a long inhale here, all the way to the top of the breath. And then we're going to exhale by letting one little sip of air come out and pause. Letting out another little sip of air and pause. And finally, emptying your lungs of any remaining air and pause until you let all the air out and you are right back to the beginning. Let's try that again. Breathing in through the nose. And at the top of the exhale, or top of the inhale, exhaling just a little bit and pause. Exhale just a little bit more and pause. Exhale just a little step more and pause. And then finally releasing all of the air from your lungs. So it's the same as before, but it's the 3-part stair-step breathing, this time on the exhale. So let's try that again together. Breathing in through the nose. And then at the top of the breath, letting out just a wee bit and pause. Exhaling just a wee bit more and pause. Exhaling just a wee bit more and pause. And then finally exhaling all of the breath. So just like there's 2 perspectives on hope, there are 2 stair-step breathing practices, and neither one of them is any better than the other. It's whichever one feels best in your body, whichever one resonates with you. They are both valuable and they both offer the same thing. It's just you're choosing which one feels more comfortable in your body. So now I invite you to close the eyes and begin to breathe in your own manner. You could do a counting breath. You could just simply be with the breath. And as you are breathing at your own choice, whatever technique supports you, I'm going to read our affirmations for tonight's practice. I release resistance, fear, and doubt, and become a vessel of hope and love. I find beauty and joy in the present moment and trust that all is well. Today, I choose to meet my challenges with courage and strength. Today, I choose to meet my challenges with courage and strength. Good. Just another couple rounds of your own natural breath. Good. And then gently blinking open the eyes and coming back to our practice. So we're going to begin a little mindful movement here today. We're going to start with some eye exercises, a little bit of eye yoga. So to prepare us for that, we'll take the hands and rub them together, creating a little heat and a little friction. And then gently cupping the hands over the eyes, gifting them with this warmth. And finding a little presence behind closed eyes. And just allowing yourself to be here. Good. And then releasing the hands, I invite you to find your collarbones. So bringing each hand to a collarbone, we're going to start to tap gently, just finding a vibration here that suits you. You don't have to tap too hard. And as we do, we're going to look from side to side, but the head stays still. Just the eyes move from side to side here. Good. And just rest, release the hands. Okay, taking a couple breaths here, breathing in and breathing out. I'm going to bring one hand to the low belly, and we'll bring one hand to the upper lip. And as we do, we're going to begin to tap, tap, tap. When we tap there, we'll take our gaze up to the ceiling. Then we'll tap the lower lip and we'll take our gaze down to the floor. So alternating upper lip and lower lip while we alternate our eyes to gaze up and down, up and down. And you can just do this at your own pace. There's no right or wrong here. There's a lot going on. Eyes, hand. Yeah. So just feeling that in the body. Good. And then releasing the fingers. So we'll take our index finger and the middle finger of both hands, and then find the temples on your face. Come down just a little bit. Draw the fingers down until you find the joint that connects the upper and lower jaw. And so when you find that little notch, begin to massage there in a nice spiral motion. And when you do, something might happen. Ooh, you just might yawn. This is called an energy yawn, to bring energy and focus and concentration. Just allow your body to receive that gift. You can yawn as many times as you want to. Yawning is allowed. Good. Good. And then just releasing the hands. Okay, we're going to do a few neck and shoulder exercises to support us tonight. So we're just going to start to take the head from side to side a little bit, inhaling through center, exhaling as we move to the side. Good. And then just start to take the head. We're going to just take it in a half circle, a half smile. So just allowing the head to drop. So dropping your chin, taking your gaze to the knees, and then moving to the side. Your head comes up to the shoulder, back to the center as we inhale, to the side as we exhale. So just finding this little gentle motion of the head. Just being with the breath and moving mindfully and subtly. Good. Then coming back to center, we're going to take our gaze up to the ceiling here, taking an inhale and then an exhale as we move the head to one shoulder, inhale back through center and exhale over the other shoulder. So just a little half circle now. You can imagine a rainbow as you move the head a little up and around. Good. And then coming back to center here with the fingers of the left hand, let's take the right ear and bend your head over the left shoulder. Just breathing here, letting your neck and shoulders soften. Good. And then same thing, opposite hand to opposite ear, and allow the head to just gently rest over that shoulder. Good. Beautiful. And then bringing opposite hands to opposite shoulders, giving yourself a great big hug here. Breathing into this hug and breathing out. And from here, we cross at the elbows, bringing the palms together as we come into an eagle arms here. So whatever your expression of eagle arms is, whether those fingers are in front of your face or whether you're lifting up towards the sky, your choice. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. And then let's untwist the arms, bring them into the back plane of the body, soaring eagle, taking off in flight, flying towards hope. Good. And then once again, bringing your hands back to opposite shoulders, great big hug. This time we'll cross the elbows, but whatever hand or arm rather was underneath before, you'll do the opposite now. Bringing the palms together and lifting or keeping them right where they are. Eagle arms. Good. And then gently untwisting and bringing those arms back behind you as we soar through the sky like an eagle, fly like an eagle. I think there was a song about that really a long time ago. Steve Miller. Okay, so coming back to the center here, Let's find a seated mountain pose. So a Tadasana, but in a seated fashion, just making sure the shoulders are back, the heart and chest are open, settling your arms down at your sides with the palms facing forward, and the ears are over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, so that you're nice and aligned here. So we're going to be breathing into our seated mountain, breathing in hope and love, and breathing out resistance and doubt and fear. Those things have no place within us, so we'll just get rid of them, okay? And now we're going to experience mountain pose with taking our gaze up, just looking up, seeing if this changes anything in your mountain pose. What does it feel to look up? How does it feel to look up? Good, then coming back to center, let's take a look down. Just noticing what looking down feels like in the body. Good, and coming back to center. And now in your mountain pose, find a faraway object on a wall and just take a look at that object in your mountain pose. Just take your gaze there. The position of the body does not change, but you may feel a shift inside the body. And so we are just noticing. Good. Beautiful. Then coming back to center, let's lift the arms overhead in our mountain pose, bringing the palms together. Exhale, pressing the palms away, taking your gaze down. Good. Once again, inhaling as we lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale as we float the arms back down. Beautiful, everyone. And once more for old time's sake, bringing the arms up overhead. And exhale, palms float down. Beautiful, everybody. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Just feeling hopeful. Just letting the body feel hopefulness in this moment. Good. And then releasing the hands. This concludes the movement aspect of our session. We're going to get ready for our final rest. So by all means, if you have some comforts around you, please find those now. Maybe lowering your lights a little bit or getting extra comfy in your chair or on the floor. And just allowing yourself to settle into this moment. So starting to find the breath once again, perhaps closing the eyes. If you're lying down, really stretching out on the floor there, letting all of the bones of your back body melt and surrender into the earth. If you're seated in your chair, just making sure that your body is softening and feeling a sense of surrender there as well. Good, and then letting the breath be your anchor once again. As you breathe in and out, knowing that if at any time your thoughts start to emerge, just go back to that anchor, go back to the breath. Good. And then let your focus in our Yoga Nidra tonight center around hope. Finding hope in the joy of the present moment. Just the here and now. If we're always looking for hope for the future or in the future, we miss what is going on right now. So right now, you're allowing yourself to rest. You're giving yourself permission after your busy, busy day, after your stress. You're allowing yourself to just be here now in this moment. And the only thing that you have accompanying you is the breath, just you and your breath. Good. So settling in, settling down, allowing the entire body to relax. And so as your body is relaxing, you're relaxing all the muscles in the face, the jaw, the temples and the cheekbones and the forehead. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And then sending your awareness down to your shoulders, breathing in a little hope and a little love to those caring shoulders of yours that work so hard on behalf of your loved ones. Just breathing in a little hope and love to those strong shoulders that never quit. And then breathing in some hope and love to your arms and your hands and your fingers and all the things that those talented hands of yours do each and every day. Maybe you create something, even creating a meal using your hands. Maybe your fingers gently caress your loved one's face. Whatever it is that your fingers do, just breathe in a little hope and love to that area of the body. Good. And then bringing your awareness down into the pelvis and the hips, the thighs, the knees, the shins, the ankles, and the feet, and all 10 toes. Just allowing your focus to be on the lower body and breathing in a little love and hope to those areas. Perhaps your legs walked an extra mile today. Perhaps your feet bared the brunt of your burdens today as you stood. Maybe you couldn't get outside today, so just walking in your house and doing all the doing that you did today. Just breathe a little hope and love into those lower extremities in this present moment. And now bringing your attention to the back body, whether you're lying on the floor or seated in your chair, just focusing on the back of the heels, the back of the calves and the thighs, the buttocks and the low back, the middle back, the upper back, the shoulder blades, and the back of the head. Just feeling into that sense of hope in the back body. Maybe your strong back supported someone today. And if so, let your back receive this gift of presence and hope right here, right now. Good. And then moving on to the front body and all parts of the body that shine towards the sun. The front of the legs, the pelvis and the hips, the low belly and the upper belly, the chest, the ribs, and the heart. So I invite you, as we are focused in the heart center right now, to think about a time where you relied on hope to get you through a challenge or a difficult situation. Think about a time where you relied on hope to get you through a challenge or difficult situation, and just sit there with this feeling of hope. Notice what that feels like in the body. So you can recapture the experience, but don't dwell on the story. Just know where that hope came from. Know when you felt that hope. But more importantly, be curious about what that hope feels like in your entire body. Allow that experience of hope to take on a color or a shape or some kind of design. So whatever it is that you're aware of behind closed eyes, let your image of hope come to you now. And really breathe that in. Where in your body does hope live? Where does it live? Where do you find it? It's different for everybody. So just look beneath the layers. Look with your sense of awareness and being, and find where that feeling of hope resides. And wherever you find it, wherever it is in the body, in the shoulders, in the hands, or in your heart, wherever that is, breathe into that hope now and feel it growing and growing. Feel it overflowing, the sensation of hope. And just feel yourself alive with hope, as if there were a fountain brimming with hope, overflowing with hope inside your body. And just experience that feeling of endless possibility and of positive outlook. Good. And as you are feeling this hope and aware of your joy in this present moment, I invite you to settle in for some deep rest. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is completely and totally relaxed. Rest now in this knowing. Be hopeful. Breathe in hope and rest. Very gently and with great care, begin to bring your awareness back to the body, starting to invite in a little movement. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe taking a full body stretch, either in your chair or on the floor. And just allowing yourself to awaken gradually as you deepen the breath and come back to the present moment. And when you have finished moving, I invite you to roll to one side and just lie there. I have a couple of closing quotes. The first is by the Tibetan philosopher Thich Nhat Hanh. And he says, hope is important because it can make the present moment less difficult to bear. If we believe that tomorrow will be better, we can bear a hardship today. And the next quotation is from Leonard Cohen from his poem Anthem. He says, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. So let hope be the light that gets in, and let that hope be your light within. And so whenever you feel ready, you can go ahead and open the eyes and come back to a seated position, resting with your hands to your heart. Excuse me. It was a joy to be with all of you tonight. It's so good to see your faces and to share this time with you. And as you go out into your week, my wish is that you bring hope right along with you each and every day. It will help to lighten the load, I promise. And so bringing our arms up overhead, pressing the palms together, exhale, releasing hands to the heart. The light and hope that is within me sees and recognizes the hope and light that is within each one of you. And we share that acknowledgement when we say together, Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Cathy.